Okay, bear with me, I haven't got my sunnies on. It is a beautiful day, but you're going to have to put up with my squinting. So this is yoga with an awareness to the abdominal area and what goes on there. So if you'd like to start just by lying on your back. And as you lie on your back, I want you to lengthen yourself vertebrae by vertebrae. So when I'm in class, I'm describing it. It's like those of you that have walked into a nice British summer sea, or even the winter sea, and as the sea is coming up, it's quite cold, and you're going, oh, oh, oh. It's not a hard kind of, you just kind of, the skin is trying to just stay away from that sea just a little bit. So as you go to lie down, picture that the sea is slowly coming up as well, and you're just allowing the skin on both sides, front and back of the body, to kind of cinch in a little bit. Cinch in, and then lengthen through and rest your head back. So if you've got your hair in a bun, I suggest you take it out. Okay, so now from the pubic area to the crown of the head, you want to feel nice and long. And you might find that if you just tilt the back of the head away and then lengthen the front of the throat, that will give you some more length there. All right, now from here, very simple, you're just going to clasp the elbows and you're going to keep the awareness in the lower belly, keep the hips where they are and raise the arms over the head. And what you should find, in just trying to keep the hips and ribs where they are, you should find that the abdominal organs, the abdominal muscles, not organs, muscles, start to feel a little contained. And then lower the arms down. Really, really simple action there. Lower the arms down, change the clasp of the elbows. And then take the arms up and over the head again, maintaining the rib cage and maintaining the hips in their place. So we're not letting the body rock and roll, not yet. Make sure the mounds of the big toes are connected. And then release. Now this time just take the arms up and over the head and notice whether you do it on an inhale or exhale. Okay, and then lower the arms down. So for me, just naturally, and for most of us naturally, if we don't think about it, the arms go over the head, the ribs open and in, and we inhale. So I want you to lift, so just draw the pelvic floor in and up a little bit, and just the space just behind the back of the navel, draw that in and up as well. And then wait for your exhalation, so take a breath in, and then exhale, take the arms over the head. Can you feel how that's given you a little bit more containment? Okay, so now lower the arms down, change the clasp of the elbows, advise your pelvic floor to contribute, just behind the back of the navel, take that back towards the spine, and then exhale, arms over the head. And again, you'll feel that beautiful containment. And then lower the arms down. And release. Now I've got no fairy thing on my microphone, so I'm just going to swap my microphone over to the other side. Right. Now we've done that. The next thing that we want to do is just a very gentle pelvic rock. So you're just playing with where the tailbone is. So here, again, pelvic floor, just gently squeezed in and up. And just gently rock forwards and back with that tailbone, just to ease the sacral area out. It should feel very nice, very pleasant. I really enjoy doing this little sequence in the morning as a kind of pre-practice sort of warm-up, I suppose. So while I'm doing my exercises, Dan's making us the drinks. I'm very lucky. Just a few times. So I'm not using the legs. I'm just tilting the pelvis by using the abdominal muscles and again the pelvic floor. It's all responding there. And then you can cuddle the right knee in towards the chest and just hold that knee softly, foot soft, and slide your left leg away. Keep the tailbone in the center of the pose. Contract the buttock. But still, as you draw that knee in, keep the tailbone in the middle of the pose. Keep it, keep it, keep it. And again, be aware of the abdominal area. And if you're doing the work from the inside, then you'll feel the abdomen, the abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor muscles, again contracting to keep the tailbone where it is. You might find that you won't be able to pull the knee in quite so much. And then bend up the left leg, pop the right leg down. Just check, is your pelvic floor, is the pelvic floor in the middle, is the tailbone in the middle? And then cuddle the left knee in towards the chest and slide the right knee away. Maybe I should say body rather than chest. Keeping the tailbone in the middle. Contract the buttock on that straight leg. Press the thigh down on that straight leg. Breath normal. Just let the body breathe itself. And then release the foot down. Bend up the legs. First side again. Cuddle the right knee in towards the chest. So the shoulders are relaxed. If you find that your head is sort of feeling like it's dropping back like this, just take a foam pad or a blanket and pop your head on it, okay? Tailbone in the middle, slide the left leg away, contract the buttock. Just the count of 5 or 6. And then release. Tailbone in the middle. Left knee in. Towards the body. Here's a good time to get the tailbone to stay there. Contract the pelvic floor and then slide the heel away. Legs firm, legs strong. You have to be aware, when we're starting to be aware of the abdominal area, we're also addressing the pelvis, the lower back, top of the thighs. It's not just one single unit here. And then that has a knock-on effect through the rest of the body. And then when you're ready, bend up that leg and rest both feet on the floor. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to just take the legs and just squeeze the knees towards each other. As you squeeze the knees towards each other, contract the buttocks. And again, pelvic floor in and up. You can rest the hands down. And then take a rest. And again, knees together. Grip the buttocks, pelvic floor in and up. And notice how that brings a really nice length to the front face of the spine. It's quite magical. I really like it. And then release. Okay, we're going to roll over and we're going to do Adho Mukha Virasana. But we're also going to do sort of like a combination between Adho Mukha Virasana and Adho Mukha Svanasana. So it's like a half dog pose. So the first thing you're going to do is come onto hands and knees. All right, big toes together and just stretch your hips back. And if you need to rest your head on a foam pad, then do so. Nice long arms. Now, if this feels at all pinchy, so sometimes you might find that you've got that little, like a dull ache here, for some of you. So one of my students likes to put her foam pad. She finds that best to put the foam pad here and to go over the foam pad. And that's just enough. Then obviously you should put something underneath her head here too. Other times it can be a blanket. And you can just roll that blanket up. And then tuck it down a little bit and then go over the blanket, because you want to feel like this part of the waist is feeling nice and broad. So it's definitely worth experimenting, and it's worth experimenting before you need to do it, so that you really start to get a handle on how to use props. It's a bit like sort of thinking, right, well, I'll learn to drive a car when I need to drive myself somewhere. But that would be too late, because you probably couldn't drive a car until you've had a few lessons at least before that, and probably need to pass your test. So the test here is, does it feel comfortable? Is it giving you a nice sense of support? Or if it's causing discomfort, then you need to change it. Okay, next thing, we're going to come up onto all fours, and we're going to stretch from the hips forwards. So just lift the hips up a little and just stretch forwards here. And this is really nice to lengthen out the lower back. I really enjoy this. So we were getting a nice length without having to have any length of the hamstrings. And this time last year when I was struggling with my back, I found this one an absolute blessing. So you've still got a nice stretch through the front of the body. You still want to press the hands down like you would if you were in dog head down. But you can breathe, and it should feel very pleasant. And if you press the ankles down a little bit, you'll start to observe there's more connection through the buttocks. And then inhale, come up. Now this is to bring an awareness to the stabilization of these lower ribs here. So you're going to round the back. So you're pressing down into the hands. Press the ankles down, and all you have to do, keep the palm facing the floor, and just raise the arm up in line with your ear. And keep raising it up. Don't poke the head down. Keep the head in a natural shape, but raise that arm up. And you'll notice again how the abdominal area band is working. Maybe hold for 30 seconds or so, and then bring down. Press the ankles down, and then the second side. And you can do this twice, 3 times, however many times you want to. And then release, and then just press into the floor again with those hands. Feel how the abdominal area is working. Now we're going to go from there into dog head down. But if I show you dog head down, we've got some slow motion. We kind of come up onto our toes, we lift our hips up, we take the hips high, thighs go back, and then eventually, once the center of the thigh, top of the thigh, knees go back, then we start to allow the spine to lengthen a little bit more to get a really lovely dog head down shape. But we're going to break that down. Okay, so we're going to do it in 3 parts. All right, so here, just come up so the shins are parallel to the floor. Press down into the hands. And again, feel how the abdominal area is really working now to support the spine. Try and keep the shins parallel. The tendency is we start to think about the pose and then the knees start to lift up a little. So just stay with that, just a couple more counts longer. And then I want you to straighten the legs back. So this is to save yourself from the chaturanga currently. So just think chaturanga legs, chaturanga tailbone. And now let the legs lift, 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 lift. Lift that tailbone nice and high, up as high as you can. How high can you take the tailbone? Peak of the mountain. Right up, right up, right up. Once you've got your maximum height, press the thighs back. Keep that angle between the thighs and the body, and see if you can lengthen the backs of the legs down towards the floor. Nice long toes here. breathe. Okay, we can come straight into chaturanga from here. So come forwards, arms strong, be positive, and then chaturanga. Looking forwards. Tailbone down. And then release. And then we'll do it on our elbows as well. So a modified plank. I don't know whether you can see. Elbows down, as if you're doing elbow balance. And step your legs back. And hold. So stretch back into those heels, tailbone down, legs firm. Pressing the forearms down strongly, keeping those wrists down. And then release. Little tiny baby cobras, they're the best. Because if we think about doing a baby cobra, rather than some of the bigger back bends, we can really work on the extension of the spine. So here, just pull the abdominal, put your hands by your hip bones and pull or lengthen the abdominal flesh forwards towards the navel. You'll notice that the pubic area will go down, okay? And then just lengthen those legs back and then join the legs together, so the big toes are together, but keep the outer buttock flesh wide. So that then as you press the pubic area down, so don't let the buttocks come into work yet, pubic area down, keep the buttocks broad, press the thighs up, okay, then contract the buttocks. You get a different sensation, you feel a lengthening sensation through the lower back. Okay, and then release, rest your head in your hands, we'll go through that again. All right, so big toes into touch, okay, pubic area down, lengthen through the front of the body if you feel like it's getting caught a little. Press the thighs up, do not contract the buttocks yet. And then buttock flesh towards the buttock crease, keeping the buttock crease like a wide smile. Now from here, you can just bring the elbows either side of your shoulders, and it's like you're trying to pull your body forwards and lift. But you want to make sure that everything feels very comfortable, nothing jamming. And then exhale, lengthen and come down. As you come down, make sure you're coming down vertebrae by vertebrae and it all feels long. Connect into the big toes. Connect into the legs, tailbone down, buttocks broad and wide. Then once they're broad and wide, contract them. On an exhale, come up. Letting that spine lengthen, looking forwards, shoulder blades deep into the back. And exhale, come down. And then one last time. Pubic area down, spine long. Exhale, come up. And exhale, come down. Take some breaths. You're going to lie over onto your back, and we're going to do a Chatushpadasana. And it's going to be so the feet are with bent legs, so your feet are hip distance apart, toes are turned in, lengthen the spine, take hold of the mat. Okay, make sure that you feel completely level and then check that you look level. Tuck the shoulder blades in so the collarbones the outer collarbones reaching down to the outer edge of the shoulder blade. press down into the feet, lift the tailbone towards the knees, keeping an even length, left and right side of the body. Lift the hips up, let the thighs stretch. Throat soft. You'll feel the buttocks engage. Keep the toes turned in a fraction. And then come down, take a rest. And then again. Tailbone up, pressing down into the feet. Lift up, do not turn your head when the weight comes onto your shoulders. Lift up, lift up, lift up. And exhale, come down. Last one, so walk the feet in if you want to. If you don't have to. Tailbone through. As you take the tailbone through, feel how the fronts of the thighs need to lengthen. Keep the space across the sacrum. And lift those hips up as high as you can, rolling onto those shoulders. Mounds of the big toes pressing down. And exhale, down you come. Breathe. Rest your hands on your belly. Now bring the knees together. Let the palms face up a little bit. You're just going to very gently rock the knees from the left to the right. It should feel like there's a pendulum just going over the back of your sacral area as you do that. It should feel very pleasant. Okay, tailbone through a little bit, bend up both legs, just squeeze the knees together. As you squeeze the knees together, grip the buttocks, and then feel what happens if you just press, you hook your fingers over the tops of your knees and press the knees into the fingers. You'll notice that the lower back will lengthen. And again, that will feel very nice, and you'll also notice that the abdomen will engage. All right, and then release the feet down, rest your hands on your belly, turn the toes in, let the knees flop in, and just take a couple of moments to rest there. We're going to flip over. We're going to do a little leg work to stabilize the sacrum, and then we're going to finish off with a little bit more abdominal work. Not much, just a little. So tuck the toes under, stretch the heels away, press the pubic area down, contract the buttocks, and lift the kneecaps up. So the kneecaps are drawn up through the work of the thighs and the calves stretch towards the heels. And this should feel quite strong in the legs. And release, take some breaths. And then again, pubic area down, heels back, legs firm. And then release. Right, roll back over onto your back. And if you have a chair or a height, you can put your feet. So I've got this little chair here, which I'm going to use. Might as well. Our friend John made us this. I think it's called a Tennessee or Kentucky stick chair. It's an amazing design. Right, so I'm going to put my feet onto here. And this is going to allow, let's just, I'm going to move the microphone to the other side again. Okay, so here, Lower back is on the floor, pelvic floor is in and up, and just very gently draw the ribs in, so it's going to be like a very shallow boat, and let the head rest into the hands. Letting that head rest back, just very, very gently, just hold the head there. Don't try it, just let the head float. And then exhale, release, take some breaths. Charlie, this is really good. This will be really good for you, this little practice, like for your back. But of course, everybody, not such a good idea to do if you're menstruating, and definitely not if you're pregnant. And lift again on an exhale. And release. And then the last one. And then release. Okay, so here, if that's comfortable and your lower back isn't paining you currently, one thing that I really enjoy doing when my back is, or just as a maintenance thing, grip the thighs together. So you're doing like a lying down Tadasana. Press the thighs down, press the hands to the floor, make everything press back towards the floor. And you feel quite a containment there. Get the sides of the chest to lift to begin with. Okay, palms are facing the body. Legs are gripping, inner knees are down. Everything's firm. Okay, and then from there, just lift the hands off the floor a little bit and then look as if you're trying to look towards the knees, but keep everything working strongly in that body. And then release, lie back down. We'll do that a couple of times. So grip the legs. Feel like they're getting a nice length on the front of the hips, nice length through the abdomen. Raise the arms away from the floor, look towards your knees. And come back down, making sure that everything around the abdominal area, lower back area feels comfortable. If it doesn't, just bend your legs up. Okay, and if you want to try one with bent legs, it's also equally good. So when you're ready, pelvic floor. It's as if you're tying those hip bones together, putting on that extra tight pair of jeans. Okay, and then exhale, raise the head up and just look towards your knees. And then release. Rest your hands on your belly. Let the soles of the feet come together. Let the knees go wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Now if this is, again, is uncomfortable, you can put a belt, loop a belt around the knees, or you can put some foam pads, pillows, cushions. Let me show you. You'd need one on either side. You just put the foam pads either like that, so the knee can rest on it there, or like this, so the outer thigh is supported. Okay, one of those things. And just observe now how the belly is broad and wide. The breath feels broad and wide. And the abdominal area feels particularly quiet. So we're just letting any tension now drain out. This is fabulous if you get any kind of menstrual cramps or anything like this. I'd put pillows, like nice big bed pillows here, stretch my arms out and breathe to release any tension from around that space. And then depending on how your back is feeling, you can either lie then with straight legs for your Shavasana. You can have your legs over a bolster, or if you have a chair to hand, you can rest the legs on the chair, maybe putting a little something underneath your head. And allow yourself to release completely to the floor. Allow the inner corners of the eyes to let go. Those little tiny muscles in that space that pull your eyes in towards the midline for focal, when you're looking at something closer up. Imagine looking at the tip of your nose. You look at the tip of the nose inside and then let it go. You can understand there's these little tiny muscles that pull the eye inwards, so to release those muscles and picture that the eyes are releasing towards the temples. Everything softens, everything releases, everything lets go. Breath is wide and smooth. And stay here as long as you wish, knowing that when it's time to get up, you're going to carefully bend the legs, roll to your side and sit up. Keeping a beautiful length of the spine.